Arsenal have responded with a massive win against Chelsea. This game was over before half-time. Arteta's young guns firing back to their best. But where does this leave Arsenal in the title race? Who was the Gunners' game changer? And what's happening with Gabriel Magalhaes? As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel, and oh boy was that a much needed victory. And it's been a while since the last 5 things we learned, so as per, smash a like on the video if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy on his road to 200,000 subscribers. And starting off with Granit the Assist King. When fighting for a title, your team is always going to go through difficult moments, and the last few weeks have been very hard. And in those moments there, you need experienced players to help the young players, and that's why you've had Granit Xhaka. He wasn't there against West Ham, and against Man City the entire team struggled. But in this game here, Arsenal were given an opportunity to respond, get their season back on track, and Granit Xhaka stepped up. With a 7.2 rating, it was a solid performance. A 0.73 XG with 2 assists, 51 touches, 33 accurate passes, 2 key passes, 1 big chance created, 2 successful dribbles, and 1 big chance missed. It was an all-action Xhaka performance. This guy was everywhere, involved in every single Arsenal goal, almost making it a hat-trick of assists. As you can see here by his passing map, he was all over on the left-hand side. With a 0.23 expected threat created, his touch map show a player getting into the box and causing problems. This guy is playing further forwards and he's making an impact. His role has changed and Xhaka has evolved. And as he says, I started my career like a striker and you can see it now. It's coming back. Mikel wants me to be in the box as well, to try to score and give assist. This is part of my game now and I want to try to do my best. In this Arsenal team, without an out-and-out goal scorer, we need every single player to step up. And that's why at the start of the season, Mikel Arteta challenged Granit Xhaka. He asked him to make an impact going forwards. And with 5 goals and 7 assists, Granit Xhaka has responded. Is he going to be the long-term solution? That is to be seen. Arsenal are trying to sign a number 8 profile, but Xhaka is still going to be important. And I say that because of his experience. Arsenal are still a very young team, and next year in the Champions League, fighting for a title again, we need players to turn to in tough moments. And that's why you can't underestimate Xhaka's importance to this Arsenal first team. Martin Odegaard might be the captain, but Xhaka is just as much as a captain without the arm himself. And as he says himself, I try to help the youngsters with advice and give them motivation. Experienced players like myself, Jorginho, and the others help the young players. When you're fighting for major honours, experience is very important, and that's where you also have Jorginho. And in this game, Mikel Arteta turned to him once again. He dropped Thomas Partey and that was bold. But in the 5 games he started for Arsenal, Jorginho has stepped up. Arsenal have won 4, and his impact has been very underrated. This guy gives Arsenal a different level of composure, calmness on the ball, which gives us control. In this game, completing 62 out of 69 passes, 90% in total. Where Jorginho is different to Partey is he knows when to slow it down. And that's why Arsenal were more composed in this game. They were able to kill the game off in the first half, because Jorginho is constantly keeping it ticking. It's not always about playing the extravagant pass. Jorginho brings his team calm. But what did you guys make of Jorginho's performance? But the man of the match went to the Arsenal captain. Martin Odegaard was back to his best, with an 8.7 rating and 2 massive goals. A 0.39 XG, 41 passes completed, 2 key passes, 3 shots on target and 1 successful dribble. Martin Odegaard has now unlocked his goal scoring potential. With 14 goals in the Premier League this season, he's now only 1 goal off the most goals scored by an Arsenal central midfielder in a season, says Fabregas in 2009-10 with 15. And the key behind Martin Odegaard's success in front of goal is all about his ball striking. Look at that first goal, its first time hit, it's devastating. The keeper has no chance. And likewise the second. Odegaard is decisive, he knows exactly what he wants to do. And that is where his game is evolving. When Arsenal needed a bounce back, the captain stepped up. And it's very important to understand the fact that Arsenal got the ball to Odegaard in dangerous positions. In the past few games against Man City, we weren't able to consistently progress the ball. Often the likes of Rapaldi made it difficult. And that's where the likes of Jorginho and Kiwior made a massive difference. Moving on to the second thing, Arteta's blistering attack. Arsenal are fighting for a title, and a key reason behind that has been our decisive attackers. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal score goals for fun, and we have now made it 6 home games in a row where we have scored 3 goals or more. Arteta has built an attack to break teams down, and in this game, Chelsea found out. Arsenal creating a 2.59 XG to Chelsea's 0.67. The overall stats are all in Arsenal's favour, with 16 shots in total and 55% of the ball, 565 passes completed, and 52 final third entries. A 4.1 expected threat created. It's no surprise to see the field tilt is all in Arsenal's favour, 66% in total. The game was over in the first half. As Mikel Arteta said after the game, Arsenal were back to themselves, free-flowing in the final third, causing so many problems. This game was all about overloads and Mikel Arteta understood that. Chelsea have an unreliable defence. Frank Lampard is not the best tactically, and that's where all three of the Arsenal goals had one thing in common: Arsenal overloading the final third. First example is the first goal. Arsenal clearly have 5 players in the final third. Likewise in the second goal, Arsenal committing men forwards, 5 in total again, and the third goal is no different. 5 players in the final third, 4 in the Chelsea box. It allowed Arsenal to blow Chelsea out of the water. We were causing so much mayhem in that final third, and a key part of Mikel Arteta's football is committing men forwards and getting his players in dangerous positions, and that's why Arsenal are the only team in the league to have 4 players that have hit double figures. 15 goals for Martinelli, 14 for Odegaard, 13 for Saka, and 10 for Gabriel Jesus. And even in these past few games where we've struggled, 2 goals against Liverpool, 2 goals against West Ham, and 3 against Southampton, Arsenal do not have a problem scoring goals. And in certain parts of the pitch we have elite squad depth. Prime example, Leandro Trossard for Gabriel Martinelli. And that is the next stage for this Arsenal team, having that level of quality in every single position. We often talk about Arsenal having a different profile striker, and while that might be needed, it's definitely not a priority. That instead is the midfield and defence. Moving on to the third thing, Arsenal's defensive game changer. Arsenal had gone 4 games without a win, conceding goals for fun. Something had to change. We talked about many possibilities: Partey at right back, Ben White at centre back, but Mikel Arteta had different ideas. It was time to throw in Jakub Kiwior, and alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, he made a massive difference. A solid first Premier League start with a 7 out of 10 rating, 4 clearances, 1 block shot, 3 interceptions and 1 tackle. The key part is definitely 71 touches and 53 passes completed at a 93% success rate. To be an Arsenal centre back, it's not just about defending, it's also about what you can do on the ball, and Kiwior was technically reliable. And as you can see here with these graphics, this guy was very important for Arsenal controlling the game, keeping the ball ticking and allowing the better players to progress the ball. It's something that Arsenal have missed without William Saliba, who was one of their most reliable players on the ball, their most passes completed. But Kiwior's impact was also elsewhere. Arsenal were able to once again play a high line, and where against Man City it was down to 47.9 metres. In this game it went up 10 metres to 37.1, and that's been a key part for Mikel Arteta, trying to pin teams back, sustain pressure. Kiwior is different to Rob Holding, he has recovery pace, and that allows Arsenal to push forwards, because Kiwior can be trusted in recovery. It was a decent performance, but we also have to be very wary. Chelsea are a very poor team, these guys don't know how to counter press, and having 2 left-footed centre-backs against a better team that will be able to press, they will try to test Kiwior, and that's where Mikel Arteta has to be careful. But what did you guys make of Kiwior's performance? There is though a defensive concern. Yet again, Arsenal have failed to keep a clean sheet, and our poor defensive record at the Emirates Stadium has continued. We have now conceded 21 goals at home, the 4th most that Arsenal have conceded in Premier League history. In the grand scheme, Arsenal were defensively better, but the goal we conceded was very sloppy, and it's 2 aspects to the goal. Maybe Aaron Ramsdale can do better, but more importantly, focus needs to be on Alexander Zinchenko, caught sleeping at the far post, not tracking his runner. This has been a concern for Arsenal fans in the second half of the season. On the ball, this guy is different gravy. He allows Arsenal to play a different way, but defensively he has never been a natural defender. Even at his time in Man City that was seen, and that's always been the type of fullback that he is. He is still very much important to this Arsenal first team, but going into the longer term, next year in the Champions League up against top wide forwards, in certain game states Mikel Arteta needs to find different solutions, and even in this game soon after we conceded, he brought on Kieran Tierney. We've also got other defensive concerns, and that of course is regarding Gabriel Magalhaes. His performance was once again very decent, but he had to be taken off, and after the game Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Gabriel Magalhaes will be a doubt for Newcastle after coming off against Chelsea. It looked like a reoccurring injury during the game. Gabriel was definitely very uncomfortable, and this could be a massive concern for Arsenal. Kiwior and Gabriel give Arsenal a solid backline. When you throw in Rob Holding alongside Kiwior, it's an untested partnership, going into a massive game against Newcastle, which is must win, where they've got in-form attackers like Callum Wilson, Alexander Isak. Without William Saliba it was massive enough. If there's no Gabriel Magalhaes, Arsenal could be in massive defensive trouble. Moving on to the full thing, the Kings of London. If there's one thing this game reiterated, is that London is firmly red, and Arsenal have now gone an entire season without losing a single London derby, the first time they've done that since 2004-05. They've also become the first ever side to win 150 Premier League London derbies, with Brentford and West Ham being the only games that Arsenal have dropped points. Arsenal are dominating London. They are blowing teams out of the water. and they have now accumulated 78 points in the Premier League this season. That is exactly double of Chelsea's 39 points. And that is the same team that spent £500 million in January. They took 2 of our targets in João Felix and Mykhailo Mudryk, and look where that's left them. And with Frank Lampard, these guys are currently 12th. Just think to yourselves to the standards. When Arsenal had back-to-back 8th place finishes, the whole world was giving Arsenal slander. But even though Chelsea are in the bottom half, not many people seem to care. It just goes to show the standards between both clubs, and I guess the sides of Arsenal Football Club. And this year, one thing's for sure, we have reclaimed our throne as Kings of London. Moving on to the 5th thing, and that is bigger tests to come. When you're fighting for a title, you can't go 5 games without a win, and Arsenal made sure that wasn't the case. A massive victory and a massive 3 points. The performance in the first half was ruthless, and the second half far from it. Arsenal could have easily scored more goals, and even after the game, Arsenal legend Patrick Vieira was left a little bit disappointed that Arsenal didn't score any more goals. And we might have got the 3 points, but I do want to see Arsenal become even more ruthless. You look at the way Man City play and the amount of goals they score, and even the likes of Liverpool. They've beaten Man United 7-0, they scored 9 against Bournemouth. That's the next stage for this Arsenal attack, to kill games off even more, and kill games off 4, 5 and 6-0. Often we take our foot off the gas pedal, and this year that could work against us. In terms of goal difference, Arsenal now have a plus 42, whereas Man City have a plus 54. That essentially acts as an extra point in the title race, because even if we end up with the same points, they will have the superior goal difference. But in the positive news, Arsenal are once again back top of the Premier League. They have reclaimed first position with 78 points now, 2 points clear of second place Man City, who do have 2 games in hand though, and they also have a chance to respond straight away in a game today against West Ham United. And with that being at the Etihad Stadium in the form they're in, I don't expect much from it. But if Declan Rice wants to be an Arsenal cult hero, potentially ahead of a move to the Emirates Stadium, Declan, this is your time to shine, take it away. But ultimately, if Man City win their games in hand, they would go 4 points clear. So essentially, if Arsenal want to win the title, we have to win all of our remaining games and hope Man City drop points in at least 2. The title might not be in our hands, but Arsenal are not giving up. And tonight was a fantastic response, but we also can't get too carried away. Chelsea are a very average team, they are mid-table for a reason, and beating them at the Emirates Stadium should be expected. Ultimately, Arsenal have bigger tests to come, and the next 2 are gonna be decisive. Newcastle away on Sunday, and the week following is in-form Brighton at the Emirates Stadium. Those 2 games are going to be so difficult, so important, and maybe deciding. Newcastle on Sunday is going to be so hard. Those guys are playing at a different level. They've smashed Man United, they've smashed Spurs, and with their in-form attackers, Arsenal fans need to pray that we're going to have Gabriel available. Tonight we can talk about leaders and responsibilities, but that game on Sunday is where we see the true leaders. Last year against Newcastle we were embarrassed. They snatched Champions League football out of our hands, and this time around it's them fighting for Champions League football, and Arsenal have a chance to get revenge. But for now we take our 3 points and take another step in the right direction. But what are your thoughts coming out of the game? What did you guys learn? Who was your Arsenal man of the match? And what are your thoughts going into the future? Do you believe that Arsenal can turn the title race around? But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1, a gargantuan victory, much needed, a step in the right direction. London is red, but will the Premier League title be? We're going to find out soon, and I will see you next time. Take care, in a bit.